Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Really happy to see you tonight. As usual, Big Sonic headquarters, the very same stand, streaming from here. Today we've got a special stream. As you can see, we're having a Christmas tree, we've got some Christmas clothes on us, we've got some Christmas milk, and some Christmas cookies as well. So, as you can guess it, we're having a Christmas stream right now. We really hope it will be fun, it will be chill, it will be interesting for both of us. And...
For both of us, I mean, you both of us sitting here, right? Not for
I mean, for both
else.
of the sides.
Yes!
For us and for you as well. And as usual, Tofsla is with us here in the studio. We also wanted to invite Vadim, and actually we did. But in the last moment, we decided that we want more cookies for us. So we said to him that the stream was cancelled.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and now we've got a pile of cookies.
Just
for the two of us.
Yes, I mean, just wish Vadim to get well, because actually he got like, it's like the period when people get sick always. Yep. So Vadim, get well there. And yeah, I am now with you because I've been checking some things if our dev stream is working correctly, now I'm all with you.
Superb. So what we're gonna have today?
We're going to eat all the cookies that we have here. So this is basically all we're going to do today.
Some Christmas food porn.
Kind of, yeah. How they call it in Korea, like mukbang?
I guess.
Like this.
Yeah.
There's like a whole...
I don't think we're beautiful Korean girls, but...
I mean, we're beautiful Russian boys. I mean, that's...
Which is pretty the same.
I mean, if you go to Twitch, you see like all the different people for all the different kinds of like preferences. And so yeah, I mean, last year we were making a video about you making cookies, right?
Yep, that's true.
And we decided that the best part of that video was actually eating those cookies.
Yeah.
So we decided
to
at least
we loved it the most, so we decided.
I mean, we just skipped ahead to like
to the eating part. Yeah. So
best part.
Today, first we're gonna discuss how the year was for us and for you. What have we done? What have we implemented in the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to discuss.
Yep.
I mean, we're just going to not take too much time about this, but we're going to go through like all the key moments.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna like sum it up and look at it like in retrospective. So first of all, we began the year with a new pack of modules.
Yeah.
So modules were introduced in December in the last year, as you probably remember.
We prefer to
think that yes, because most of the modules were introduced this year. So we think that this feature was introduced generally this year. It was the beginning of the year and the beginning of new War Robots era, I may call it, because after that there was a giant, huge update with pilots. For the first time in War Robots history, we introduced lore and story.
Yes, that was pretty incredible.
It was pretty exciting. We really enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well. So for the first time in War Robots, there were not just war and robots, but also story, people. Big corporations, things going wild, not just exploding, but also like fates and some story-driven arcs.
And we are definitely going to expand on it like next year, because there's a lot of stuff that we want to explore. I mean, you saw the videos on the video on Titan with like this mysterious Hank person.
Yeah.
And I think he will be coming back.
He will return, yeah. So in our minds right now we've got big plans for 2020 regarding both robots and pilots and Titans as well.
Definitely.
And just stay tuned.
What about Titans?
Yes,
we will get to this.
But we will get to the. Before that, there were operations.
Yes.
By the way,
in July, but
in July, in the middle of the year, we released the first season of Operation, and it was just a blast. It was a hit, and you guys totally loved it. We totally loved that you loved it. So yeah, it was happy thing to do.
I think there's just one thing that I need to highlight, like as we're going into the live stream. We will be going through we'll try our best to follow the chat, because the chat right now is very fast, both on YouTube and Facebook. We will try to pick the best questions that the questions that we can actually read as we are here, and we will read them, and we will revert every single question that we will read on this stream, and that we will actually respond to with Ao Ming, I believe,
but
right?
if we read a question and don't respond to it?
I mean, that's our fault, totally. Not
All right.
the fault of person who asked
if your question was read during the stream, you will receive an Aoming. And not just questions, we also read out congratulations. So Christmas congratulations. We really want to congratulate you, and we want to read out loud some of your congratulations. Yes. So write them in the chat, show some Christmas love and Christmas atmosphere. And if your congratulation was read by us, then you're definitely getting an Aoming.
Aoming is a Titan, and we will get to the Titans right now.
Now. There is one thing more I think I have to say about operations. There was a survey recently about what you loved and what you didn't love in 2019 and what you expect from 2020. And operations based on the survey, so we will talk about it.
Yes.
But right now I can spoil it a little bit. Operations was the most loved feature of all. Just totally.
This is a great time to grab one of these. So what is this with?
Operation
it's like this one is with chestnut, I believe, and some
I love nuts.
Cranberry and something like this. So I'm going to do this illegal move and soak this.
Yeah, officer, just that man. Yeah, over there. Yeah, arrest him.
Come on, man. This is just too good to not do during the live stream. I mean, I probably shouldn't do this. I'm going to do a lot of different weird sounds that are going to be crazy annoying to you. But this is Christmas.
Finally, we got to Titans. So after modules, after pilots and story in War Robots, and after operations, the most popular feature in this year, we released Titans. The giant robots. War Robots get into the roots back again with giant mechanical monsters fighting with each other. Slow,
twice
heavy.
as big and about twice as strong.
Yep, that's true. Another thing that was revealed that while regular robots are piloted by pilots, giant Titans are too complex and too important. So they are piloted by our players.
Yep.
By commanders.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of sense.
Yep.
And just one thing that I want to talk about, when we released them first, they were a little bit not as strong as we'd like them to be, because I mean they are big, they attract lots of attention, and this makes them very vulnerable to all kinds of attack from robots like Leech or T-Falcons or others.
Yes, and we wanted them to be leechless. Speechless.
Okay.
All right.
Makes sense.
All right. Okay.
So last week, actually, we increased their stats, some particular stats, just to be more particular. We increased Titans both base and scaling resistances to damage. So as you level up your durability meter, you make them more durable and more resistant to damage. Also, we increased the damage, damage defense mitigation from their weapons, for both alpha and beta weapons. So they do much better at both fighting each other, both fighting Titans versus Titans, and also fighting current meta robots like Leech, like T-Falcon. This way, Titans are still very vulnerable to all the different sorts of flanking or trying to outplay them just by using your agility, because they're still very huge, hulking. It's very hard to control them. But also they actually have a chance when you try to fight them head to head. So I really advise you, if you decided to not ever use your kit ever again, it's actually very strong right now, and it's actually has a really great use on the battlefield.
So it's the best time, if you tried Titans and really didn't like it, it's the best time to try once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we did make them overpowered or something. We just decided to increase one of their key strengths without removing their key weakness. So
we just made them the way they were meant to be from the beginning. Yes. All right, but enough with the Titans.
To try them.
The next year, 2020, will bring more Titans and more things connected with Titans.
As far as I know, we plan to add 2 more Titans over the course of the year.
And we already discussed it, and you asked us about new Titans, and we said that, well, you can try guessing, because we've got different roles in our game of the robots, and there are 3 Titans as for now, and 5 roles in general. So you can guess, well, in general, once again,
what it can be.
What these Titans can be, exactly. So We also celebrated 5th War Robots anniversary this year.
Yes.
In the April. Guys, War Robots was 5th anniversary, 5 years old. Yeah. 5 year.
So yeah, I've got a spoiler for you. This year we're going to celebrate like 6-year anniversary.
Wow.
You didn't see that coming, right?
Yeah, that was totally unexpected. But yeah, thanks to you guys, thanks to the community, thanks to players from all over the world, thanks to all commanders, War Robots are still here, up and running, and got pretty big news for the next year.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff like directed on reinvigorating the game, because I mean at this point it's quite old, and there's a lot of stuff we can do to make it like more up to date, to take a look back at what we have up and going like in the game right now, and what we need to update and remake. So this is a very interesting thing, and I really don't want to spoil too much. Just you wait for the video that we're going to release at 28th of December,
28th,
like
yeah.
in 5 or 4 days from now, and we're going to delve deeper into what we have planned.
Yes, our producer Max, wow, Max, I like used his name and did it in the past tense, like Max. So our producer Max, you've already seen him last year in December.
Yes.
And this year he will return and talk all about 2020 and our plans for it. So just wait for the 28th of December, basically for the end of December. You will find out. Another thing.
This Saturday.
Yes, this year it wasn't so big, but from my point of view it was quite spectacular. We implemented new kind of skirmishes called arenas.
Yeah.
That were available only during the events, and some of them were even like event themed. So they were connected to the events.
Yes, and this is also a very interesting thing, because I mean it wasn't something that everyone could jump into and enjoy it right away.
That's
because
true.
This is something that we added for like very competitive players, very competitive commanders that want to like squeeze the most out of their skills, not just their hangers, because arenas have a set hangers for every single player on the match.
Same hangers for everyone.
So whoever wins, he gets all the gold that everyone contributed to the prize pool. Not all the gold, but like a sizable chunk of it. So
almost all of it, yeah.
Yes, I mean we split it on like no, we're not going to delve too deep into it. If you played in arena, you know how it works.
You know what about it.
And this is also one thing that we want to expand on the next year, because like this competitive part of War Robots is something that we didn't actually. I mean, it's something that we wanted to get into like over the past few years. It was actually very hard to set up without a proper infrastructure. So we are looking into establishing this kind of infrastructure, at least in some way. So you can expect something about that, like something driving us in that particular direction. Over the course, like somewhere in the middle of the year. And
I think we will also include some like seasonal arenas that will be connected to the lore. So there was one this year. It was a 1 versus 1 arena, and it went pretty well. So we really loved it. It was interesting to work on it and interesting to implement it in the game. Yes. I think that
nothing went like as smooth as we expected.
As smooth that it was, yes,
but it was like the first time we tried it, and it was like just a simple like experiment, like what we can do if we actually can do it. Actually, we can, which is great.
So we know it.
Now we should do it better.
And yeah, exactly. Improve. And the last but not least, limited versions of robots and weapons. This year, we really, with our team of designers, we really
like went ham on making pretty things, basically.
Yeah, so we decided that why not? We wanted something like that for a long time, and
well, we got it.
Sorry, he looks so funny while eating cookies. I guess me too, but
I mean that was the intent with the cookies, because this is the only way I can remain funny, because
at the end of the year you have to buy presents to all of your friends, you have a lot of work to do, and the only way that you can remain funny is eating cookies.
I mean, it's just eating. I mean, I was born to eat, basically. I can say that, like, this is like...
So is that some kind of letters that you want on your graveyard?
Yeah.
Was born to eat.
Born to eat. Like
died because of cookies.
I'm not going to.
Well, not today, maybe.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
It will be hilarious.
Or not. All right, so limited versions back to our game. Limited versions of robots and weapons available in the game, and some super paint jobs, legendary paint jobs that can give boost
Yeah.
to some of your specs.
+5 to your durability.
Yeah, it was our another experiment, and it went pretty well.
Yeah, that's what we did.
All right. There were also a couple of things connected with the community that we want to talk about and remind you, and us as well. So first of all, Carl Rogers. We didn't just invent pilots, we also made a community pilot, Carl Rogers, and we wrote his story, we told you all about him, who he is, what
It was actually a very interesting experience because when we were working on pilots, we didn't have too much to show in terms of like how they work, because they were like very early in development.
They were work in progress,
point,
work in
and
progress, yes.
we just decided to delve deeper into the story of one particular robot to give you like a taste of pilots, not robot.
Yeah.
I said robots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, of one particular pilot, and we went along with it, and we developed it into a
full-scale story.
Personal.
Yes.
Personal
Character.
English is hard, you know.
English is very hard.
English is very hard, so I'm going to speak like I do usually when I come to work. So, anyway.
So, that is true. There wasn't much things to do or to work with, and we said, well, community managers said, and we thought, all right, this is a huge thing for us. This is the first time there's gonna be story in War Robots, but we wanted to show the best way we can. So we made a character from scratch. We made a story from scratch. We invented his story, his family, his background,
what he cares about, what he wants to achieve. And there's still a lot of stuff that we didn't have a chance to tell you, because there's still lots that expects Kyle Rogers in the future. And we really want to spend some time to develop other characters that are already in the game. I mean, we were mostly adding new characters. But what if we can back to the older characters and revisit their stories and give them some development? What if we can do this? Maybe we can. If you are actually interested in it, just drop us a note, because this is something that we are actually very passionate about here at least. Because I mean, if you remember,
I just thought about it. We can make a story poll and ask our players
who they actually care about.
Yes, exactly. What character or what pilot they want to know more about, and they want to see the story.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah. So guys, I think we will make it actually, and ask you, who do you care about and who do you want to hear about more? All right. So back Carl Rogers. Then we had community skins. So there were 4 winners. Sorry.
Paint jobs.
Paint jobs. Yes. Sorry. They were.
I mean,
4
this
winners.
skin is how these like paint jobs are usually called in the game.
Yes.
So this is why things are always get confused. But in our world, they are like paint jobs.
In the world of War Robots.
But we can call them skins, however you want. Just don't get confused.
Just we need to understand each other. That's all. So we made community paint jobs.
Yeah.
There was a contest and 4 winners, and 2 of them were already implemented in the game, and 2 of them will be implemented in the next update.
Yes.
So in the beginning of 2020, I guess.
Yes.
And another thing, by the end of the year, we had a huge community thing, community robot.
Yeah.
Cerberus. You've chosen his name, its name. Yeah, I really love dogs, so it's he for me.
It's like not just one dog; it's like 3 dogs in one.
Well,
at least in terms of like at least in terms of like character.
At least in terms of eating.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, the Cerberus, like mythological creature. They have like 3 heads.
Yeah.
But do they actually eat more? I mean, if we
mean they have 1 stomach and 4 legs?
Yeah. I mean, do they require more energy to sustain themselves?
I'd say yeah, because, well, for example, for the human body, the brain is the most energy-sustaining element.
Consuming.
Organ consuming, yeah, thank you. So I don't think it's the same thing for the dogs, but brain in general is very energy consuming.
I mean, maybe like 2 of other brains are very jump and they don't require too much. Yeah.
I think that, well, if we talk about biology in myths, that Cerberus requires more energy than a standard dog.
Just because it's
way
bigger.
Dog. Yes. But less than 3 dogs.
Maybe 3 giant dogs.
3 giant dogs, yes, exactly. More than 1 giant dog, but less than 3 giant
dogs. So, Cerberus and War Robots. It will be definitely pretty energy consuming if actually War Robots had some kind of fuel to fuel up their robots.
Yep, that's true. So coming the next update as well with Nightingale and Ravana. And we're pretty excited about it because we already had one community robot, Bolt, last year. But it was a robot more for new players, for fresh players, new to War Robots. And Cerberus is in the meta. We wanted it to be balanced, to be played with, and to be viable.
So I'd say it's going to be somewhere around like Falcon or other robots, like on the same level around
like
that.
Falcon? Oh, T-Falcon.
We'll see actually, because you cannot predict this kind of stuff until you see it on the live server.
Yes, exactly. We don't know for ourselves. So T-Falcon was a thing that we couldn't expect. We didn't know about it. We weren't thinking about it.
I mean, this was one of our initial ideas with pilots, like to give players, to give commanders something to play around and find like some unexpected things that can occur when you take one thing, like pilot, who can have like all the kinds of abilities, and another thing like robots that have their own sets of abilities, and find some like unexpected synergies between the two. And I think T-Falcon is like the most successful one of these, like in this
totally
process.
Unexpected, but very successful.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's interesting.
Maybe Cerberus will be the same thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at this on the test server or somewhere else, we're going to release the video about Cerberus like in first days of January, and I can say like to you right now that Cerberus is going to have an ability that is going like, I mean, it's people from Facebook and other social media chose it.
They chose it, yeah.
Don't blame us. Don't blame us. Okay. Anyway, it's a gun that has like 3. What's the right word? 3 barrels basically, and each barrel gives you 1 effect. So it's at the same time it shoots 1 charge that inflicts corrosion, lockdown, and suppression.
Yes, all three effects at once.
Yes, and also Cerberus is protected by Aegis Shield.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting as like I think like some kind of assassin robot.
If it wasn't enough, we also added Aegis Shield, because why not?
I mean, it would be like very, very, very vulnerable without it. So we give it Aegis just to give it a better chance to line this shot out.
Yep. So community skins, community paint jobs, and community robot Cerberus coming to live server in the next update in the beginning of 2020. All right. But I think that we really should talk a little bit more about the next year. We already told you that most of the details will be revealed in the end of December.
I think not most, because we wanted to keep some of the surprises to ourselves.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, because there's still a lot of like really big things that I think most of you will be very excited about. I'm not joking, but we don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, and we don't want to take this privilege from us.
What you wanted to talk about?
Well, first of all, as we already mentioned, we had a poll in our community.
Yeah.
We asked you about the last year, we'll ask you about the upcoming year, and we've got some pretty sweet results that we can share, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there were lots of discussions about things that we do with our service, our polls, like, I mean, okay, you collect the data and what you do with it. So I think it can be a great time to discuss the survey that we actually ended today and give you some insights into what we actually have done to the, I mean, what we learned from this survey and what we are going to do with all that.
And so there were some surprising things from my point of view in this survey.
I mean, I'll try to not spend too much time on it because it's like huge. So I'll try to focus on, for example, I mean, there was a question like, what is the main issue of the game right now? So the first like top 3 is like upgrade costs, 2 matchmaking when you play against stronger opponents, and 3 currency income, and 4 balance changes. So we, how do I say, we like mindfully put all these points into the poll, so because this is something that we see surfacing very frequently. And the interesting thing that I noticed here first, last time we asked the same question.
I gave you my heart, but the very next day,
that's what I've done. So the last time there was a option called like, I mean, the main issue like top 3 or top 2 was upgrade times.
Yeah,
and now it's
true.
like top 7 at best.
Everyone were freaking out about upgrade times.
Yes, and we actually eliminated this part. I mean, this is yeah, those people, they don't
exist anymore.
Yes. No.
They're not a problem anymore.
No, yes.
Right,
no. So yeah, this is a good part. Second part, about like upgrade costs and currency income. The currency income, this is the story like with this last story about... Okay, I'm going to talk a lot, so you have a lot of time to eat your cookies.
Got it. It's very good.
This one...
The chocolate one is like... Sorry to interrupt, but guys... It's the best chocolate cookie I had...
In years.
Maybe in years, or maybe in my life in general. It's very good.
I won't have a chance to try it like until I finish, so I'm going to
be
I'll as brief as possible.
Opportunity, yeah.
So at least with currency income, this is an interesting part because, as many noticed, there was like a huge, how do I say, like difference in the amount of silver that you were receiving before the Titan update and now. I mean, in that regard, that before you dealt, for example, like 1.5 million damage per battle, and received like, I don't know, 500,000, like maybe 600,000 silver and something like that. And now you deal like 3 million damage and you receive like around the same amount of damage. And the reason for this is that we are still using like a very outdated silver formula that exists like since the very beginning of War Robots.
Basically, since the beginning of times.
Yeah, pretty much. And it just kind of works like a black box. I mean, the game just feeds it some numbers, like how much damage you dealt to each of the robots that are present on the battlefield, what level they were, what weapons they had, what level of the weapons they had, how much weapons they dealt, or how much damage they've dealt, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different things that are very hard to track, and no one really knows, besides maybe people who conceived this like interesting formula. And we are going to remake it somewhere in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of our promises. We're gonna rework this silver income system. Around
5.8, you can expect the system that will, if not give you way more silver, it will definitely give you a better idea on where your silver comes from. Because it will be fully based on honor. I mean, this was the second thing like that people liked.
The new honor system.
Yes, this was the second thing that was in the survey, rated like ranked second favorite feature of the year after operations. So we are going to base the silver income on honor as well. So you will not just receive silver for damage you've dealt and some like very different like weird numbers and like processes and functions and so on and so forth. You will see like you received this much honor, and for this you will receive this much silver. So each point of honor will be converted into a set amount of silver. So it will be as clear and as transparent as possible. So this is the first thing. Second thing, regarding matchmaking. There was a question, and I'm going to read it right now, so we can just reward the person who asked this. The first one that we saw. I mean,
shoot it out.
There were other people who asked this question, but this one was the first I saw. Okay. So, now I need to find it again.
Okay.
Stall for me. Yeah, I found it. Dose1354. Hello, Stan and Tofsla. Merry Christmas. When will the cross-platform update to come to War Robots? I really look forward to it, and I hope it gets released. This is where I answer this question. This is the first thing that we are going to do to address the current matchmaking situation. I mean, the reason why, for example, you meet players that have, for example, you play alone and you meet the squad, for example. There's one simple reason for that, because there's just not too many squads in the matchmaking queue at the same time. So basically, we need to add more people playing in squads. How do we do it? We merge iOS and Android.
Yeah, so that's just a perfect way to get more people in every league, to get more people in squads, to get more people in like clans everywhere.
Yeah, so
and it really helps with lots of problems.
Yeah, this basically introduces more people into matchmaking, and it reduces the amount of waiting time. It increases like diversity of players in the matchmaking queue, so there's less of a chance that you will receive someone who is out of your league in terms of like the skill or equipment levels and so on. And it also increases the chance that squads will be matched with squads, basically.
You know what?
Yes.
I never thought about it, but the moment we merge iOS and Android together, we can finally see a live stream or a video with Manny and Adrian playing together.
And who will win?
Maybe they can be in one team. Like.
No. This is not as interesting as it could be.
You're all about like battles and being controlled.
I mean, I'm all about conflict, right?
Yes, exactly. All about conflict. All right. Well.
No, I'm not. Actually, not. I'm a huge fan of like the Eastern stories with this like Kisho Tenketsu story structure, where there's basically no conflict and just pure exposition, and something happens, and then you like zen. Anyway.
Okay. Any more insights from our?
I think these were like two key things that I wanted to point out. At, like this part.
What we ended up with, we know that there will be a merge of platforms in 2020.
And I say it's going to be like very soon. And
in the first half.
In the first half. Yeah. And I want to point out that the fact that we are also going to do this in like 2 steps. First, we're going to make it so you can face players from other platform in the same match. You won't be able to communicate with them or add them to the clan, at least yet. But later on, we will also add this possibility as well.
Yeah, so we will implement this feature step by step, because it's a very technically difficult feature to implement, and we don't want to break anything.
We have a lot of like depth in this department, because, for example, how do you resolve the situation when people from 2 different platforms have the same IDs?
And it happens. So we already know for sure that there are people with the same IDs on these platforms. At the moment that platforms are merged, what happens to them?
Yes, so there's a lot of like similar things that we need to resolve. So, but wait for it, it's going to happen soon.
All right.
Maybe in March or April or somewhere along
the first half of the year.
Yes.
I think that's what we can say.
So the second thing, the interesting thing, I really liked a lot of insights that we received from the maps part of the survey. For example, on the question, which map size do you prefer? The leader was like different maps, diversity is key. The least popular option was large maps. So, for example, Canyon, Springfield, Yamato, Carrier, only 10% of people answered that this kind of map this is the size of a map that they prefer.
That's pretty interesting.
This is interesting, and there's a question that arises, because on one hand, like large maps can be very fun to play on, because like it's a huge epic stuff and so on.
Yeah, you've got a lot of possibilities for gameplay, but on the other hand, large maps usually mean sniping.
It depends. It depends on how the map is structured.
Yeah.
And right now, large maps, yes, they don't have like very great candidates to vote for. So it's like Canyon, Springfield, Yamato, Carrier, like the least popular maps in terms of like public appreciation, at least at this point. So can we come up with the large map that is actually fun to play? This is something we need to answer this like next year. And we will come back to this part very soon, I think.
Another thing about maps, I've got a congratulation versus question here by Marcus Fejestem. Sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly. Merry Christmas, War Robots team, and Happy New Year. Thank you, Marcus. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well. When does a new map coming up?
Ooh, I had the same exact question coming from YouTube.
Alright.
Okay.
You can read it out as well if you already chose
I just need to find it. It was actually the first one that
that you've chosen?
That yeah, jotted down. So Ryan Westerhouse asks the same thing. Basically, are we going to see new maps in 2020? And the answer is yes. You're going to see new maps in 2020, and the first one is going to arrive around April, I'd say. It's going to be Factory that we already tested on the test server.
But without
textures,
graphics, without textures,
visuals, yeah. And like, how do we call, like professionally it's called like gray box edition as far as I know, like just like boxes, just like active objects, but without graphics. So you can expect it to be more or less finished in terms of visuals around like February, March, tested on the test server, and we are very looking forward towards your feedback. Because it's interesting, it's very interesting, because there were quite some time since we released the new map.
And
the second one...
It won't be the only one.
It won't be the only one. We want to make a second map, at least the second map.
Yeah, at least the second map.
And you'll learn about it like very soon.
Like very, very soon. I mean, in maybe in a couple of weeks upcoming, you'll know more about it. I can promise you.
Just watch the Saturday video.
Yeah. Just don't miss the Cerberus video, yeah. So, another question by the same person. Some new skin to the Titans on the way? I can't say new skins, just skins in general.
I also had the question on this part, like Green Apple asked, Stan, so this is the question for you actually.
Hey Green Apple, cheers.
Will Titans get paint jobs? Merry Christmas. I mean, we have like the same questions from both platforms.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to give Titans paint jobs. And actually, have you seen on the Reddit the like paint jobs from I don't remember the nickname of the person, but they're actually like fan-made paint jobs, like Blue Arthur, like.
Wow, I've seen the like new concepts of Titans. That was what I've seen, but not new paint jobs. So actually, you know what I was thinking about? It could be pretty cool if paint jobs for Titans weren't just paint jobs or special editions, but also new animations. It's pretty tricky.
Animations, I think you have a picture of another thing that we asked our people about.
Maybe, yeah.
You do, yes?
Yes.
Remember we asked you about the special edition of Phantom and Halo? The themes for them. I mean, we had a poll, like, what do you want the new Halo and new Phantom to be all about? Like, for the 4th Operation season.
Yeah. And there were like 3, that was pretty funny actually. There were 3 options, and I was really into the first, well, let us say first. Tofsla was really into the second, and you've chosen the third.
There was a Celestial, there was
Celestial...
I don't quite remember what was the second one.
Like...
either something like demonic,
yes,
or
something like that.
Or post-apocalyptic or something like this. So we need to check
and the third one was Stellar.
So basically space, black holes, like nebulas and all the other stuff.
Yeah. And it was the winner. And right now on my Mac I've got the pretty animation actually of a Stellar Phantom. Just a minute, I'll open up.
Stellar Phantom and Stellar Halo.
Yeah, Stellar Halo on a Stellar Phantom, and it's so beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. I think we can show it. Yeah, can we?
Can we?
Yeah, seems like that. Yes, we can. Here it is. So you can see it's like golden with purplish elements.
And it moves.
And that, yeah, like I really love about it, and it's just as I imagined it. Like deep space inside with galaxies, with whirlpools, with fallen stars, with all that things. It's very beautiful. And another thing that I really love is that Phantom has a galaxy of its own, and Halo has another galaxy of its own with stars of different sizes. It's very pretty.
I mean, it's like in Men in Black, there was a cat with this thing on
with
its
this necklace,
neck.
with a ball, with a galaxy inside.
It's
Yes,
called
exactly.
Orion.
Yes. So tell us in the comments what you think, but we're pretty hyped about it. Truth to be told.
So yeah, and back to the question, like the initial question, yes, we want to make paint jobs for Titans.
Yeah.
When they will come, I can't tell you yet.
All right. Another question we've got, Brian Docker. Hi, Brian. You brought us a good idea in your survey. Is it possible to remove some modules from certain bots in the interest of balance?
Yes, let's go to the modules part. Yes, there was a huge set of questions that we asked about like some more or less crazy ideas on how we'd like to try and balance some things out. And they are obviously not everything that we propose there is actually something that we want to implement. And we just wanted to hear your opinion on that. So basically, for example, for the improvements to active modules that some people would prefer to have to make, the absolute leader was, for example, make each module have a limited number of activations. But actually, it's not as absolute as you can imagine, because, for example, 33% was of voters were for this option, but also 25% were for actually limiting some robots to some amounts of active modules. So, for example, Phantom cannot use, I don't know, phase shift.
Phase shift, yeah.
Or like Leech cannot use phase shift, and so on and so forth. And there's also a huge subset of people, like 31%, they were against like any of these changes. So we're going to...
so it's really controversial.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to dig deeper into these like ideas and figure out what kind of repercussions that there might be, what's bad and what good can come out of this, and we'll see. Because these kind of changes, so for example, for passive modules, we propose the ideas like give all robots equal number of module slots. So for example, every robot has like three like regular modules. And one free passive and one active, for example. But there is also an option like each robot has its own list of available and unavailable modules. So, for example, we don't let Ares have last stand or something like this. And on one hand, it can be quite interesting. On another, it can add more complexity into the game. So you have to consider whether or not you want to invest into this robot. Since you have this module, but you can't put this module into this robot actually, so do you actually want to do this? I don't know, it's too hard. And this is interesting, and as I said...
But very complex as well. So we will dig into it in the next year, but there is no solution that we have right now in our minds.
And, I mean... it's not just the single problem that it's not just everything boils down to it. I'd say that at some point we might hit this sweet spot of balance in which we don't need to add any of these like crutches for the balance. So for example, phase shift, like it's a very controversial module, and we're really looking into tuning it down in 5.7. So you cannot yet consider it as an official announcement. We're looking into it, but actually there's a huge chance that we're going to tune it down because it's like very popular, it's like overly popular. And what is actually interesting about items in the survey is that we asked the question, what is your favorite feature of 2019 that we already covered?
Operations, yeah.
What is your favorite weapon of 2019? What is your favorite robot of 2019? And what is your favorite module? And I mean, interestingly enough, even though the question was what is your favorite robot, I mean, I expected to see like lots of Lokis in there because it's like very fun to play.
Yeah.
Or lots of Phantoms or something like this.
Phantoms as well.
But interestingly enough, every single of these questions, every single result mirrors the current like meta. I mean, we see the most popular robots on the
battlefield.
The battlefield in our data, and we see the same list in here. For example, the leader of favorite robot poll is Aojun. The second one, like the runner-up, is Leech. and the third one is Phantom. I believe not just because it's very fun to play, because it's fun to play. It's very fun to play. But Phantom, I didn't think about it.
Genius, genius, genius!
Yes, of course, you're a genius.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, the Phantom, and then the fourth place has Fenrir, and then goes Tyr. And worth noting that this poll didn't include like the robots that were released last year and year before. So I imagine if it had, like, for example, Ares or Hades, it would be very high on the list.
Yeah, Ares, definitely.
So it actually makes you think. I mean, there's a good reason why Aujun is so high, because it was like very strong.
Because it can fly.
First, it can fly. Second, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Third, it has an incredible Deathwing Aujun version.
Yeah, so 3 reasons for you that...
And there's fourth.
Oh, wow.
I can give you
if you call us right now, you can receive the 4th reason for Aujun being so high.
4th reason for Aujun being so high. No, it's actually very simple, because Aujun was consistently very strong throughout the whole year.
Throughout the year, yeah. And the Dragon Boards, actually, they were the first one that we released this year.
This is actually a 5th reason.
Yeah.
Because they were like
they have like the most time run during this year.
Lots of people have them, let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it's interesting to see, and gives us some ideas to think about.
I've got some congratulations here. So from Audrey Dom, Metuned. Congrats for another year to cheer. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Merry Christmas.
Dustin Johnstrad, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Dustin. Really hope that today of our players from all over the world, those of you who celebrate Christmas will have a chance to gather with your family or with your friends, have some fun, have a nice Christmas table with a turkey or maybe I don't know, with some salads. It really depends on where
Cookies
you live.
and milk. It's
Cookies
all you need. Sorry for being so loud.
Well, if you believe Beatles, all you need is love, but... are there any congratulations or questions on YouTube?
On my side, I think I'll finish with the survey, because there's not too much that I need to cover.
All right.
Weapons, interesting part. The first one, I mean, can you guess the most popular weapon that we
most popular
have? I mean,
weapon this year?
like the weapon of the year, something like this. People vote.
Something like
People choice.
Something big and heavy?
Yes. Worm.
Worm. But there wasn't a weapon worm.
No.
Calamity.
Yes, that's correct. Calamity is the most popular weapon of this year.
Yes.
You knew. You knew. No, you didn't. You knew. You know. Nah, whatever. And there's an interesting thing that 2 runner-ups are kind of unexpected to me.
Which one?
Cryo and Glacier.
You mean in the top 3?
Like first one
is Calamity.
Calamity. Second one is, I'm looking at this right now, Cryo, and then Glacier.
So you mean 2 of the 3 most popular weapons this year were released just recently?
Yes.
That's incredible.
So they got there like quite
That's very
quickly.
interesting, actually. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's more about the interesting effect that they have, or just about the sheer power that they introduced to the game. Because
maybe both.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Because interestingly enough, when we released them, and they were not as popular because they are focused around, I'm getting better and better with this word, like focused. Don't do this. Okay, so they struggled a little bit because of their like short range and focus on burst.
I mean, they were very fun to play with, but they were not really into the meta.
Yes, because current meta is all about like countering the burst first, and it's all about like mid or long range.
Yes.
So people using Calamity, Calamity, Rhyme, Cryo, and Glacier were kind of struggling. And it was actually very interesting if we take into account like the current popular robots, when there was a huge spike of Orkan popularity.
Yeah.
The most popular robot was Spectre, the one that can close in the distance like very quickly and more or less safely.
Yes, get in and get out.
Yes, and currently I think the most proficient at these robots are, I believe, Augin and maybe Phantom, but that's not too much to work with. Especially since you have robots like Leech, Ares, Hades, the ones that are very good at countering like weak, close, go in and go out attacks. But still, it seems that they're doing pretty well. And that's reassuring.
Well, I've got another congratulations from John Michael Valmores Berdera. Valmores Berdera. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, John Michael. Merry Christmas, everyone. Really hope that
Merry
you
Christmas!
have a very Merry Christmas and get some nice presents under the pine tree.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? There is one thing I'm looking in right now.
Can I read one congratulation from a person called Anonymous Gamer?
Yeah.
Who didn't leave his or her or their ID.
That is a mistake.
Please do it. Send it to us in some way, one way or another. But at least, if you want to remain anonymous, it's your right. Anyway, congratulations, Pixonic, on another year of gaming awesomeness. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I'm so looking forward to all the new amazing content for this new year. No, here's an ID. I found the ID.
Yes.
First of all, thank you. Second of all,
thank you.
Congrats.
First of all, congrats. Second, thank you. By the way, there is one thing I wanted to say. We just talked with Ben Kitty before the stream, and I promised him to say hello. So, Ben Kitty, hey there. Congratulations, have a Merry Christmas.
Hi there.
Hi there. And another thing, the last time we announced a community challenge.
Oh, that thing.
Yes. And we wanted you to have some fun.
I'm sorry if I'm too loud, really.
And using a Titan, any Titan of your choice, jump with the Cossack on it, and be there for a minute or more during the battle. So on the live server during a battle, stay on the top of the Titan. And there is a video of the winner. So there is a Cossack on Aoming, and I think we can show it. So
I never doubted you guys. I never doubted.
Actually, it was pretty fast. It was much faster than the challenge with the carrier. And I think we need to come up with more difficult challenges and more crazy challenges. And I think we need to... Well, I've got something in mind. So maybe we will have another one in February or even in January already.
Just go easy on them. Go easy.
You know what? They just made it like in a week or so.
Okay, don't do this. Okay, don't go easy on them.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. I think they want to go hard, and we want to go hard. So that is the place where our desires meet.
Okay.
Actually, that sounds like a good name for for a strip club. The place where our desires meet.
War Robots.
War Robots strip club.
Why strip club? Why do you need like any kind of stripping?
When you have robots.
Yes, I mean robots are awesome. Stripping is
5 out of 10. Wouldn't recommend anyone.
Robots are better.
Okay, so we've got a video right here. Can we show it? Yes, we can. All right, we're ready. And here we go. I just kept it to the place where the Cossack gets to the Titan. So you can see that it's live server.
Yeah.
It's in the game. And the Titan just stands there like, come on here, little one, jump on me.
It's kind of, it looks like a great example of like incredible, amazing teamwork.
That's not something that's supposed to happen.
Actually, does it go green on other screens as well?
It went green on my screen, but in... Oh, yeah.
It fixed itself, great.
Yeah. That's the thing that I usually say about the game. Yeah, it fixed itself, great. So you can see actually there is another Leech there that helps defend this Titan, Aoming, and helps defending Cossack. And after some time, it will come to the Titan as well, and will jump on the Titan. So there will be some kind of a party. A Cossack standing on a Titan with a Leech by its side.
It's pretty great, I think. I mean, the idea of using the building as some kind of like, how do you say?
As a ladder.
As a ladder, pretty much.
As a Titan ladder. Yeah. So I can skip it. I'll try skipping it. Yeah. That's the place. I think. Yeah. After some time, I think the Cossack got bored, so it began jumping. Standing on the Titan, it began like whee.
So it's like a nightmare mode.
Yeah, some kind of. And there is the Lich. standing on the Titan as well. Like, hey dude, do you mind? Do you have enough space? Yeah, come on, Titan's huge. Whatsoever. I don't mind.
I just got an awesome idea for like a fan art or something.
Yeah, which one?
Because I mean, you can make something about like love and friendship and Titans and all the other stuff in that regard. That I mean, it looks like very neat because there's like a huge Titan that just has little robots on his like back and
shoulders. Oh yeah, around and there are even there are pilots standing on robots standing on Titan. Oh, that's Inception.
Yes, I mean, have you seen the new Nolan?
The new trailer?
Yeah, the trailer for
like
Tenet.
Tenet, yes, I've seen it. Well, it looks very stylish, and it looks like Inception, which is a good thing, I think, because I really loved Inception.
Yes.
So, all right, I think we can stop here. So you got the idea.
So
congratulations, guys! You're
what
definitely.
We
We promised two other Titans, so we can see Aomin here, but I think the Cossack will get Aomin and Arthur.
Yes.
And the owner of the Titan will get them as well. But as far as I remember, he asked not to give him the prizes, but some of his clanmates.
Okay.
Yeah, that were also in this year. But
that's great and it's very benevolent.
Thing to do. Exactly.
So we can appreciate it really. First, we really appreciate it to appreciate you taking our challenge and actually completing it, completing it that fast and in that kind of like impressive way. So,
thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
And expect, I think your 3 to 1. Your rewards will come like this week.
Yeah, somewhere around this week. Actually, there was some question why we are working today.
Well, that's an interesting thing to ask about, because here in Russia we don't really celebrate Christmas.
We celebrate, but another Christmas, like at 7th of January.
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky, but for us, the Catholic Christmas, like 25th, 24th, 25th of December, it isn't celebrated much, so they are not holidays. We work during these days, but we've got big celebration on the New Year's Eve, like 31st of December. We do the same things as you do on Christmas. So we gather with the family, we gather with the friends. We've got lots of food on our table that you then eat, like leftovers for the next week. You've got a Christmas tree, you've got some presents, you've got a Christmas mood. Well, right now it's very strange, but in Moscow we don't have any snow.
Yeah, that's weird.
For the end of December, it's just the weirdest thing ever. I don't really remember in my life.
It's like European winter.
Yeah, European winter, exactly. It's very strange. I really hope there will be snow around the 31st of December. It will be like magical when the New Year's Eve is there and snow is falling. But yeah, back to the.
So basically, we are spending time. We decided that as we have a normal working day here, we decided that we can spend some time here with you because, like, in all the other countries, or most of our other countries, today is like the Christmas
day,
and I think you're going to spend your day like great, or your evening or your night. Depending on how you're going to celebrate it. And now we can take some of your time and try to spend some time with you, like in a nice, cozy way.
Mood.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're gonna have the holidays and the celebration.
We're going to stop working when everyone else will start working.
Yes, exactly. And another thing, in Russia, actually, we've got a pretty large New Year holidays.
Yeah.
So all the country doesn't work like for a week. Around, so
you won't see us for a while. Great news.
Yay.
Actually, I'm joking. You're going to see lots of us because we have lots of content prepared for first days of January.
Yes, for the first half. Yeah.
So you're not going to miss us much. I promise you.
That actually sounded like not just like a promise, but also like a threat.
Yes.
A little bit creepy. Take a cookie.
I mean, that's part of my image.
It's part of my image. All right. Any more questions?
I think we can do. We already are running out of time.
Yeah.
So I think we can go. Like I have plenty of questions.
I think we can go. All right.
I think we can do like some kind of blitz.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot it out.
All these, like,
make
things.
a blitz. Like.
Okay. Alpha Sarman asks, Hi Stan, hi Tofsla, Merry Christmas and Happy
Merry
New
Christmas.
Year. Here's my question: what is your favorite Titans and why? Let's try to answer it like very quickly without like delving too deep into it.
Mine is Arthur, because I'm really into bulky robots and I'm really into protection. I really love protecting other units in any multiplayer
And I think it's also
PvP games.
Also, Arthurian legends like Knights of
Yeah,
Camelot and so
that's
on.
another thing that I really love. So Arthur, the Legend of Arthur, that's the thing that I'm really into. Yours?
Mine is Kid.
Why?
Because he's an underdog, basically, and I love underdogs, and I love like little guys with like weapons on their back. Because why not? I mean, it's crazy, it's great, and it also has a stove that allows you to, I don't know, to wash your clothes and immediately make them warm and not wet.
Sounds pretty good.
I mean, this is the issue that I usually face when I go to other countries and live like in hostels or somewhere. Or yes, also, you're correct. I mean, that's a very frequent issue that I really need to address, and Kid helps me a lot.
That was nice.
My things not very wet.
All
so
right.
anyway, next question. There's a lot of weird symbols, but it's something like tacos, something tacos, okay? It's like fancy symbols that people usually use for their nicknames. Anyway, a little clue for what 2020 will bring for Titans. I'll try to answer this like very briefly. At least 2 new Titans, and in the next update, I believe we are going to unlock the module panel.
Yes.
We're not going to add new modules just yet, but we're going to let you fiddle with the existing modules that are already in your Titans.
So basically, customize the Titans your way, the way you want to play them, using the modules that already exist. It's pretty useful because you already know how the modules work and you already know what are they.
And you'll already get a pretty good idea of what your Titans are already capable of.
So now
you can
you know how
squeeze a little bit more from them.
You know how to like unite them.
So I take a little bit from this kit and put it into this like audio.
Right.
So next question, Harry Iceberg. The clan chat could definitely use some work. It's frustrating that you can't type more than half a sentence at the time. Yes, the communication in the game is a huge thing that we're looking into right now. As also going back to the survey, there were lots of people who use things like Discord for in-game communication, and we're going to look into this like deeper as well. I cannot promise that we're going to remake the social system like in the first half of the year, but the next half of the year we have some plans for that.
We got some plans. We can't promise you that they will be implemented in the game itself, but there will be some social communication features.
We want to improve the in-game communication, at least in some way. Ronit Chaud Huri. I think I butchered the name once again. I hope I didn't butcher it too much. I'm sorry. Good evening, Tofsla and Stan. Where can I buy War Robots Christmas merch? I think they're looking at this thing.
They're looking at my sweater. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Actually, that is the sweater that we sent to our influencers last year.
You mean like YouTuber people?
YouTubers, yes.
People, yeah.
People from YouTube, people from community. Actually, we've got some pretty nice things we're sending them this year, but we want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, because it kind of took a little bit longer than we expected.
Yes, but it's totally worth it. So back to the question. We thought about War Robots merch for a lot of time, actually, for a long time right now, because we've got some t-shirts, lots of t-shirts with cool prints. We've got some sweaters, we've got some postcards. So actually, we've got enough to make a War Robots shop. Like, a War Robots merch store. So you can tell us what you think about it. Maybe it can be one of the projects in the next year, like a totally experimental project. But we can make like some kind of a Kickstarter where you can just hop in and take like a bundle of things, like the easy bundle, maybe the medium bundle or the large bundle with different merch of War Robots.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that even though having a physical like edition of something that you can have in the game, like for example, like turning Fenrir from the game into a real Fenrir that you can put on your table, it's like great thing to do, and this is something like we very want to have at some point. But turning it into some kind of like merch store it's like a whole like business activity in itself. So we need to go through lots of procedures.
It needs a lot
and
of
also
preparations. It needs a lot
confirm
of time.
that there's enough like demand for this. This is where actually why we're considering Kickstarter for this kind of things. So this is a huge endeavor, and we want to make it work.
You can tell us in the comments, you can tell us on Reddit or in the community whether you want it or not. So should we make a poll, for example?
Like show us your love, basically.
Show us your love. We're ready for it.
Not creepy at all. Chatlanin asks, Stan, Tofsla, с наступающим Новым годом.
Happy New Year.
Взаимно. Please tell people how your servers work. Whoa.
That's a pretty
That's an interesting question, and that's where we want to call our server people, and they are pretty busy right now.
Well, actually, they work pretty... We've got a lot of servers, because we've got players from all over the world.
I can say for sure, in terms of like how they're structured, I can give you a very general idea. I mean, we have like some like server clusters in different regions. We have one in Japan that serves basically the whole Asian region. We have one in Europe, and we have one in North America. So we found like this is how it works with like all the online games. You try to find out like the best placements for all these servers.
Like the spots, so there will be the closest one to all the places in this region.
But the interesting part about like servers, it's not like all about. It's not about like geographical.
Being close geographically.
Yes, because there's a lot of different things that also come into play when we talk about servers. I mean, you don't just make it so like here's the server, here's the city where the player lives, and you just go from here to here. No, you have to go to some like distribution center to connect it with wire, and it may be here or it may be here. It can be wired through here or here. So it's a very interesting like logistical tasks. I mean, in terms of logistic, it's pretty difficult and pretty interesting. So right now, this is how it works right now. In our case, we have 3 big hubs that serve like across the whole world. That may be problematic when you're playing from somewhere like Antarctic or something like this.
Some penguins playing War Robots,
or people from polar stations.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're playing from War Robots from polar stations, please
tell us. Actually,
tell us, because this might make a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I wanted to live and work on polar station for quite a while, or be like a beacon watcher, like not the beacon from War Robots, but whatever. Like lighthouse watcher.
Lighthouse, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, next question. Kai Arsenal. Sometimes the game feels like a little clunky, with a lot of lag and glitches happening. Is there any focus to improve this or fix some of the little bugs? Thanks for the great game, by the way. So the question is about like issues with bugs or lags or something like this, and this is also one of our key focuses for the next
for the upcoming year. For the
upcoming year, we're basically going to clean up lots of legacy code, legacy features, legacy like architecture. So yes, this is one of our focuses. What's the right word? Like foci? Like for example, when we use focus, it's like Latin word. And if we make it into a plural, it's foci. It's like Hawkeye, whatever. Next question, like 2 more. Parts Agrawal asks, Stan, will you launch another type of weapons on Titan better than Alpha and Beta in future? Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Than Alpha and Beta, I can answer this question. Thank you for it, first of all. We don't have plans for another weapons right now, I mean for another type of weapons, because as we've already told you, the first thing that will happen to Titans in the next year are modules. They will be unlocked, and you will use modules you already have on the Titans. Then there will be 2 more Titans during the year.
Just one thing I want to highlight. Not the modules that are usable on the regular robots. We are not going... It's like they have different Titan modules, and there won't be new modules per se. There will be only the modules that are already in the Titans. Because if you go to the inventory screen, you will see there are 2 tabs, one for weapons and one for modules. And if you go to modules, right now they are locked. after 5.7, you will be able to move them between Titans freely, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah. So modules, 2 new Titans, maybe paint jobs. So we've got big plans for Titans already, and
There are going to be new weapons, but they're going to be like the same type.
I think, yeah, the new weapons, they're definitely going to be new weapons with different effects, but in the same niches, in the same type of weapons, alpha and beta. Because we think that as for now, we were pretty modest. We just wanted to see how it works with the whole Titan affair. But for the next year, we want to expand it as much as we can.
It depends. We'll actually see, because...
Well, who knows, of course. But as I can see it right now, we already have a lot of plans, and expanding the type of weapons isn't one of them.
So, for example, I don't know, you can expect some kind of the first thing that came to my mind was shock train. No, probably there won't be shock train for Titans, but you can expect some different types of weapons for Titans.
Yeah.
So, for example, maybe homing missiles. Why not?
And
Or
more variability. Yeah.
maybe flamethrowers. Why not?
Why not?
Maybe cryo weapons. Who knows? Maybe lockdown weapons. Who knows? There's a lot we can explore with this type.
There is a lot we already have on regular robots, and we don't have yet on Titans. Yep.
And the last question from All Pappy. Hello, by the way.
Hey, Pappy.
Any chance the red dragon boat, the one with light weapons, our king, I believe, gets a significant buff? It is a beautifully designed bot, but can't survive at high levels. The thing with Aukin is that it was actually designed for kind of like bots, right? So it's not a bot that is suited for the highest tiers of play. And we'd love to give it more chances so it can survive better and longer in higher leagues. But at this point, we prefer to stay at where it is. So this is basically a robot that can give newer players a taste of the mechanic of fly.
Yes, an opportunity to understand how fly works.
And you can squeeze out a lot from this robot, since this Aukin's weapon, like the built-in weapon, has the longest range of them all. And you can try playing it as a sniper. This is not the most powerful thing that you can use, for example, at Master Leagues or Champions even. You can try, you can be even pretty effective with this, but obviously there are better choices for this. This is why you have Workshop and all the other options, so you can try, build your hangar organically.
The way you want to.
So right now it's built so at some point you grow out of your Aukin and move to something better. Not better, but more complex in terms of how you play it, how you utilize it, how skill intensive it is, and so on.
Son, you are grown up now.
You're a grown up now.
You're a man.
You can go
so it's time to go from Auking.
You can go from red thing to green thing, or maybe towards a white thing.
Or maybe even a black thing.
Yeah, black thing is pretty amazing. I mean, I believe...
I really love coffee as well.
This is how we call our robots in the future. We just stop trying to come up with something great, like some amazing, mythologically influenced name. By the way, Ravana, not Ravana.
Yeah, yeah.
Ha! I had no idea myself, just to be sure. Anyway, we just call robots like black thing, like walking thing, like flying thing, maybe shielded thing. What do you think about it?
What do you think about it? I think it's terrible.
At least you're honest.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you. Thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on this live stream, and congratulations once again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Really have good time with your friends, with your family. Share with it. Maybe not playing robots or not playing games at all. Have some communication. Have some warmth of relationships. Because after all, that's the most important things we've got in our lives.
I believe you have much better things to do right now than to be with us here. Spend times with your friends, with your family.
Yes.
Maybe with your clanmates, teammates.
It really doesn't depend. You just try being communicative. And
it's a great time to have some rest, actually.
Yes.
I mean, use it fully.
Yes. So congratulations, and see you in the next year.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and all the other stuff. See you in the next year, maybe earlier, because there are going to be more videos on War Robots and what's new coming to War Robots as well. So this Saturday, new video.
Yeah.
Come back.
Watch it, but the live server the live stream will be next year. So,
but later, do it later. Now, go and spend time with your loved ones.
Yep, we love it.
I'm not the one to teach you. Come on, you know it yourself. Right. Have a great time, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Okay. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Час 15, кондей поставили, называется. Сейчас мы наболтали, конечно.
Деньги охуенные.
Шоколадный просто, не знаю, это космос какой-то. Артемий в Караваевых купил, просто красавчик.
Красавчик. Ну, это звука.
Ну, кстати, 1100 это неплохо, учитывая, что меня наносит нихера. Да, да, вот ровно так. Да, да.
Нихера себе.
Вот, that's what I'm talking about.
Я типа не ожидал, что оно будет делать так.
Такое, как бы внутри вот такое, что ты просто, как бы... Я во время стрима совершил ошибку, откусив его, и понял, что